Hi, welcome to this segment of Our Ventura TV. My name is George Alger, and today we're going to be talking about the Ventura County Foundation, and we have the executive director of that organization with us today, Norbert Tan. Welcome, Norbert.
Thanks for having me, George. And it's the Ventura College Foundation.
Darn it, you know.
We rehearsed that.
We did, really. I'm glad you're correcting me now. I've gone through whole shows sometimes having said something wrong. All right, so tell us, for audiences or for the audience members who don't know, what is the Ventura College Foundation?
So we're right here next to CAPS TV, and we exist to support the college and its students. So we raise money to support college programs and students through scholarships and other forms of support like textbooks.
Cool. Now, it would seem like you have a close association with the college. Is it something that's established by the college, or it's really independent of the college?
Yeah, we're a separate 501c3 nonprofit, but we exist to support the college and its students. Back in the 70s, when Proposition 13 passed, as you know, it cut a lot of funding to our 112 community colleges in California. So all 112 community colleges in California decided to set up their own nonprofit foundations to raise support for college programs and students directly.
Okay, cool. Now, I think I'm guessing this, so I'm asking you actually, have community colleges become more important in recent years, particularly with the recession?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are helping, in the state, 3 million students a year go through community colleges, which is literally 5 times as many students that go through the UCs and Cal States combined. So in California, we are worried that we're going to be about 1 million jobs short in 20 years in terms of jobs that require a college education. So we're playing a big part in helping students at least complete their first 2 years before they transfer to a 4-year university, or they can get a certificate in one of our programs, or come back and retool their skills. And that's what we saw during the recession. Our enrollment actually really ramped up during the recession because people couldn't find work, and they said, let me come back to community college at Ventura College and retool my skills and learn some different things and see if it helps me back in the job market.
Very good. Now, Norbert, what might some things, how might the Ventura College Foundation come on the awareness of students who are coming into the college?
Yeah, so one of the things one of our flagship programs that we started about 8 years ago, in 2007, we started the Ventura College Promise, and our board of directors and the college president decided to pay for the first year of Ventura College for every Ventura County high school graduate. So it's free for the first year, because what we found, half of our students are the first in their family to attend college, and often they don't have support at home to attend college because maybe parents weren't familiar with the process. So they said, Johnny, go to work or go start a family, don't worry about college. So we reduced the economic barriers to college by saying, try it out. Right after high school, come to Ventura College, it'll be free, see how you do. And we found out that over 1,000 students every year are taking advantage of the Ventura College Promise. And what it does is, right out of high school, puts them in the habit of continuing their education. And we found that 90% of them continue into the next year and really get used to continuing college. And we know, because we help so many students that are returning students, we call them reentry students, because our average age is 27. So we have a lot of students who do not go straight through college, but they decide, I'm going to work and start a family. And then when they come back, it's really, really hard. They do well, but it's a really challenging thing for them to come back to college after being an adult for a long time. So we definitely encourage high school graduates to come right into Ventura College, and the Ventura College Promise helps that.
That sounds like a brilliant program. How do you get students to know about that?
So we have a great counseling staff at the college and an outreach program. So we push out to the 25 high schools in the county, and we let them know what's available to them. And and we start in January, literally while high school kids are starting to think about college. At least some of them, we try to get into the high schools.
Good. Now, as a foundation, as a nonprofit foundation, it implies you're doing some fundraising, or at least in most cases one would be. What are the ways you raise money to execute these programs?
Yeah, so we raise money through talking to our alumni and other friends in the community, as well as businesses in the community. It's interesting, there are businesses like Haas Automation and Luminera and Amgen that come to us and say, you know, we're having a hard time hiring entry-level workers because we feel they're not qualified, they can't read or write as well as we would like. What can you do? So we actually have that conversation as a college about how to really prepare our students for entry-level jobs at some of our local companies. And in that conversation, the businesses realize, oh, you know, also if I support Ventura College, that's really going to be a win-win for us.
Wow, okay. Now, when you mentioned the reentry students, I'm wondering, are you seeing more reentry students recently than in the past?
Yeah, because in the old days, you could literally raise a family, own a home with one income and a high school degree, and that just doesn't happen anymore. Obviously, most families need dual income to make it these days, and to really break out of the minimum wage cycle. A college degree is almost mandatory.
Good. Now, could you comment on anything related to the college that's unique to Ventura? I mean, most
Sure.
colleges offer pretty general education, but is there something that Ventura College that offers that's not typical of community colleges?
So we just came back from our nursing department, and we have one of the leading nursing programs in the state, as well as a paramedics program.
Really?
So we have a brand new health sciences building that just opened the other year. So we actually have the same equipment that you'll find at CMH or County or Pleasant Valley or St. John's, which means when our nursing students go through the 2-year program, when they do the rotations in the hospital and eventually get hired, they're actually working on the same equipment that they studied while they were here at Ventura College. And we have one of the only paramedic programs in the county, and we have about 24 students who go through that program. And now paramedics is almost a requirement. If you get a job as a firefighter, you have to be a paramedic. In the old days, you could just get by with maybe a couple of classes or an EMT class. But most fire departments now want to hire paramedics.
Okay.
So those are two of our programs. Actually, another one is our automotive technology program. Basically, every auto dealership in the county has hired a Ventura College grad in their service bay. We have a great program here. We've had Toyota has been a partner. They just recently donated 8 brand new Lexus hybrid sedans for our students to work on.
Nice.
So what some folks think about automotive technology, working on clunkers at Ventura College, it's absolutely not what's going on. Our students are working on state-of-the-art equipment right now.
That's great. Norbert, when you're out in the community and you're letting folks know that you represent Ventura College Foundation, what are the main questions that you do get? Yeah,
we cost is usually a big factor, and we have a lot of students whose parents, for example, have decided, you know, it makes sense to have our young person come to Ventura College because maybe she doesn't have the maturity, or she's just trying to learn how to study, versus wasting that money at a 4-year university. Some of these 4 years now cost $50,000, $60,000 a year. So imagine if you did your first 2 years at Ventura College, you could save over $100,000. You could still transfer to Stanford or Berkeley or Harvard and still have that degree, but you would have done it in half the cost. So for a lot of students and parents, cost is a big issue, but the quality of education. I mean, most of our classes are small. I went through the UC system at UC Berkeley, and I was in a lecture hall with 700 students. At Ventura College, you're in a class with 25 students and an experienced professor with advanced degrees. I mean, at a lot of UCs, in the first 2 years, you're being taught by grad students. So you get a really more intimate experience at the community college system. You save a little money, and then we have specific arrangements with the UCs and the Cal States where they hold spots for junior transfers out of community college, because you've actually shown UC Berkeley that you have a track record because you've succeeded at Ventura College, where they're kind of taking a flyer on the kid right out of Ventura High School, for example. So we have a great relationship with the 4 years, and we're helping a lot of our students transfer out.
What seems to be the biggest obstacle to getting into college, or into, in this case, the Ventura Community College, and then getting it done, getting through it?
Yeah, so it's really the consistency of taking classes and getting through them. Most of our students are working 1, 2, sometimes 3 jobs, so they don't have the luxury of necessarily taking a full load and just focusing on school. A lot of our students are taking a full load, but so many are working, so it is sometimes hard to concentrate on completing their classes, but we try to accommodate students with, for example, block scheduling now. So we've started doing a lot of classes on Mondays and Wednesdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. So then a working student can schedule with her employer, okay, I'm going to work Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday because all my classes are on Monday and Wednesday. And those are some of the simple things we can do as a college to help students succeed. We have great tutoring services as well, and a lot of mentoring programs to really help students succeed. And there's been a big push by the state of California. Governor Brown has pushed for the Student Success Act, where the community colleges now will actually be paid by the state based on student success and not butts and seats. I know we talked earlier, we were involved with theater, and it was all about butts and seats. And the same thing with community college. We would get paid by the state for enrollment. So at the 4th week, we take a census and we get paid on the number of students we have in the class. It says nothing about, do those students succeed on the back end? Did they actually pass their classes? Did we prepare them for the 4-year experience? So the emphasis now is really half of what we get paid will be based on student success on the back end. So that's really important to us, and we're excited about that.
That is encouraging. Norbert, we're just about out of time. I'm wondering if you might offer a website that people can get more information, and if you have a summating message for the viewers.
Sure. So our website is at the college website, venturacollege.edu. And final message is come check us out at Ventura College. We're open access. We have a great counseling staff. I forgot to mention we have a great textbook lending library that the foundation is funding. So books now are literally upwards of $250 a pop. So we have a lending library with thousands of books where you can check out a book for an entire semester. So we're actually saving students a lot of money just on the textbook side. So check it out.
Actually, I do want to just follow up on that because that is pretty important. You're saying students can actually go to Ventura Community College and not have to buy the books?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great. So we have all of our books on reserve at the library for 4-hour checkout while they study in the library, but we have another collection where they can check out up to 3 books for the entire semester and mark them up, but just return them at the end of the semester. So that's a great resource we're offering our students.
Well done. Norbert, thank you for stopping by.
Great, thank you so much.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.